welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Vintage at the request of Patreon subscriber Guy, and this is Grixis Breach. Guy wanted me to do kind of a vintage exploration of the top decks leading up to Eternal Weekend, and this is a new one that's emerged. Grixis Breach is not new. Underworld Breach, just busted engine with Brain Freeze and Black Lotus. It wins the game on the spot. And you can do things like Value Breach, where you just cast Ancestral Recall twice in the mid-game, and that pulls you ahead to figure out how you're actually going to win. But this deck was out of favor for a long time, and it's back with a bit of a rebuild. Historically, this was also a Paradoxical Outcome deck, or you could tuck Breach into a Lurrus Value shell, but this has foregone Lurrus and foregone Paradoxical Outcome, and instead embraced Hull Breacher. This card is very good versus Jewel Shops. It's very good versus Dimir Lurrus. And it's very good with Time Twister. I've even seen some builds play Wheel of Fortune as well as Time Twister to really max out on Hull Breacher value. This one's not doing that though. We've got Tinker for Bolas' Citadel. We've got Breach combo. We've got Hull Breacher Time Twister. Urza Saga's in here, of course. Jack Faden, which is really good on its own and even better with Hull Breacher. You target them, you get 2 treasures, they discard 2 cards. The game ends pretty quick after that starts happening. And we're just in the busted blue Power 9 shell with all the cards you'd want to play. I love Grixis Breach historically. It feels like proper vintage. Like nobody could look at this deck and be like, that's kind of anemic. Or I could do that in Legacy. No, you can't. This is a real crazy, dedicated vintage combo deck. And I love when decks like this are viable. I have played Grixis Breach at Eternal Weekend in the past, and my deck decision is still in the air. If this thing is viable, I'm very excited. Let's try it out. This is the new build of Grixis Breach. This video is sponsored by Marvel Strike Force, a squad-based RPG that brings the Marvel Universe to life. Players assemble powerful teams using endless combinations of heroes and villains to battle iconic enemies in epic combat. Use the QR code or visit my link in the video description to download the game for free. You'll recruit heroes and villains from across the multiverse. Power up your characters to take on a variety of game modes. New players can unlock 17 characters in their first 30 days, including Spider-Man, Deadpool, Thor, and Captain America. New characters are regularly introduced, such as the recent addition of Blade and his team of Night Stalkers. New ways to battle are released regularly, and the meta is constantly evolving. Along with campaigns, Blitz, and Arena, there's Alliance War, Raids, and Cosmic Crucible, where you go head-to-head against other players in a tournament. This month, there's a brand new game mode called Battle World. It's an exciting PvE mode you can take on with your alliance. If you're a new or returning player, be on the lookout for awesome rewards to celebrate Battle World's launch. Celebrate spooky season with the promo code Halloween for 100 free Zombie Iron Man shards, 600,000 gold, and 480 level 2 training modules. Use my QR code or the link in the video description to play Marvel Strike Force with Blade, Zombie Iron Man, and the rest of the Marvel Universe today. I'm on the play in round 1. Uncapable hand, unfortunately. Gonna mulligan that. No companion from the opponent. Oh, here we go. Opponent said they're a fan of the channel, and they're literally watching one of my videos right now. Everyone shout out Darth Dog. I'm gonna keep this hand. Underworld Breach is very good with Black Lotus, obviously. I just need a Brain Freeze to win. However, Underworld Breach is the card in this hand that does the least on its own. I could just ram multiple Hull Breachers on the stack in the early turns and see how the game plays out. That's probably what I'll do. The flip side of that is if this is white initiative or someone who just doesn't care about Hull Breacher, I'm going to wish I had Breach instead of multiple of these. I'm going to keep the Hull Breachers. I think this card is good enough on its own that we can give it a fair shake. A Volcanic Island, Soul Ring, Black Lotus, and I'll pass. Let's see what they're up to. Please don't play a Plains or a Chromox. Zar Baghdad. Okay, well, Hull Breacher resolved without a fight. They still get to discard, and if they have Dredgers in the hand, they can replace them in the future. I'm going to use a treasure to play another Hull Breacher right now. Get the clock going. That's a fun interaction. Okay, Flooded Strand's not what I wanted. I'll run this Academy out, and they can dredge here. Stinkweed Imp and Shambling Shell both in the graveyard. Hit Thug. The dredging will continue. Creeping Chill. Plenty of dredgers over there, and they have a draw step still coming. They can dredge that as well. Another Chill. I wish my opponent would chill. They definitely got me with the Keep 7. I fell for that immediately. And Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back, triggers Prized Amalgam. I need a payoff quick. I need like a Tinker. Dig Through Time. Can I cast this? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Yes, I can. I think I'd like to cast it in a way that leaves Black Lotus in my graveyard if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is Black Lotus in the graveyard or treasure in play more important to me? I mean, I can't combo if Black Lotus is out of the deck. I'd have to Twister. But I can't play any of the cards I draw here if I lose my treasure. Alright, I'm going to burn the Black Lotus. Ancestral Recall, a powerful spell. And Mox Sapphire to play it. Is that how I want to do this? That still leaves a mana up. What am I digging for here? I can't breach anymore to win. There could be some cheeseball line where I hit them with a Brain Freeze when their deck is like half empty. Tinkering for Citadel is... I'm running out of life points to make that viable. Twister is really good. How do I Twister the best? All right. I'm going to take Mox Sapphire and Ancestral Recall. Sapphire, Ancestral Me. Time Walk. Oh, that's fun. Okay, they're putting 2 3/3s into play in my end step. And that'll be... They also dredge just a million. All right. I'm going to pass without doing anything here. I'm probably going to have to block one of these 3/3s and lose a Hull Breacher, but I want to keep one for combo potential. If they hit all their Creeping Chills, they might just die this turn. There's also an Icarid in there. It's bad news all around. It's one Icarid, no chills hit yet. They still have a draw step. They can dredge 6 there. Okay, no chills hit. Good, 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 good. You're saying there's a chance. This is 12 damage. I can go to 1 and block nothing, or I can go to 4, which is much safer, and block something. I'm going to block an Amalgam and keep Hull Breacher. This Twister is one of my ways out of this. Here comes some stuff. Bunch of triggers in the end step. Alright, deck. Give me the goods. Gitaxian Probe. I'm going to spend mana to do this. Ponder. We continue. The game is afoot. I still have a treasure. I'll leave Academy up. Bolas' Citadel at 4 is not very exciting. This is a shuffle. Shuffle the Ponder. It's a lot of Force of Wills. Alright, Time Walk. We get one fresh look here. There's no attacks. Come on, deck. There are definitely hits. Breach is good. Demonic Tutor is good. Time Twister plays the game. That's not it. Alright. Well, we resolved a Hull Breacher on turn 1 that made 2 treasures, and then we died, because that's dredge. Then we bring in the sideboard cards. Leyland of the Void, Tabernacle, Pithing Needle, all good stuff. Stuff that is less good includes... I don't really need to Force of Negation them. Bolas' Citadel is risky, because if it doesn't happen on turn 1, it's likely to be too slow, because they do so much damage to me. But it's also a huge win con if I have successfully stuffed them with Leyline. Dredge is a Force of Will deck for Pyroblast. Mental Misstep should not matter. Sensei's Top is really slow versus Dredge, but it does pop with Bolas' Citadel if I leave that in. I think these come in and out as a package. I don't really care what's in their hand. What am I tinkering for if Citadel is out and I'm not bringing in Portal? Tinker for Pithing Needle. And it's not nothing. I've tinkered for Null Rod in combo matchups before. The Tinker can just be a value tinker like that. Dismember can't possibly matter. Just kill a Prized Amalgam, it'll be right back. I'm off that. That means if I find one other cut, I can keep the Citadel and just keep that high roll available to me. Maybe I cut one of the Pyroblasts. Yeah, Force of Will is mostly just still in the deck to protect my own wins and to protect my Leyline. which I am starting on. Okay, keep. This hand has Leyline and Tabernacle and my one of Urza Saga and can tutor for other payoffs. I'm going to hold back on Pearl and Saga because I don't want to make Force of Vigor completely insane. Here they go. Chill, Powder in exile. If I vamp here, what do I get? Just like Ancestral Recall? That sounds reasonable. Underground Sea, Vamp Tutor. I'm holding Breach, which means Lotus and Brain Freeze both have text. All right, don't have to think about it. The perfect outcome. This would be a very bad time for them to have Force of Vigor, but I don't currently have another plan. I will dump out my cards here and hope they work. Didn't do anything in the end step. Let's go. They would have had to find the Force off their draw step plus Bazaar activation because they clearly didn't have it in my first end step. But they are seeing 3 cards a turn. If they are going to force, it should happen right now before I can make constructs, and it did not happen. Good. Ponder. Hull Breacher. Is that a lock? If they're slow Bazaaring, yeah, that's really good. I will take this Hull Breacher, even though I can't cast it right now. And I'm drawing Academy next turn. This is the last turn they have to do anything. My constructs will be bigger than their hollow one, and Hull Breacher will lock out anything else they try to do. Ooh, no Bazaar. Okay. Construct. Oh, they did find it. That's disgusting. I'm going to respond with Hull Breacher. Because if they're going to Bazaar in response, I want it in exile. And then if they Bazaar after that, I want treasures. Yeah, that was their draw for turn. That's why they pumped the brakes. Wow, Force of Will. Okay. Well, we might still lose this game. I am applying pressure and I'm holding Tabernacle, both of which go a long way. I'm going to attack first. That also means I'm not shuffling, which means the card that is next under everything here is something I'm going to draw. We're down to 1 card in hand, but that doesn't matter anymore. Slow Dredge. They milled over a Wasteland, so they did bring those in. Please waste my Academy. Hell yeah. I'm going to float 3. Okay, we got them on the hook for that. That was the last card they were holding in their hand, and the Tabernacle is ready to ride. They're going for a big Dredge, and they hit Icarid, which will trigger all their other stuff. Great, Soul Ring. That's what was on top. Soul Ring. Do I want to get in a damage race here? I could just block Icarid with my 4/4. There are 2 Icarids over there. I think I'm just going to park the bus. I'm the control deck here. The Dredge only has to deal 8 damage these days because they have all the creeping chills. 2 of them are in exile already, so they actually have to deal a lot more damage than that right now. Let's see how aggressive they want to be with these Icarids. I released Dredge recently on the channel, and after the league, one of the Dredge experts told me I was boarding out Icarid too much because that's your best source of damage versus Tabernacle. And, you know, great call. I'm currently worried about Icarid because I have Tabernacle. But I have a 4/4, which is a different calculation than normal. There's the last chill. They're all in exile now. 2 triggered, some went out with the Bazaar. Make my block. Millions of triggers in the end step. Literally millions. Some number of creatures are coming back. They're all going to die to Tabernacle. And then I got to stabilize versus these Icarids, which I might not be able to do. Teachings. Okay. Is there an instant in my deck that helps me here? Brain Freeze is really interesting in terms of my hand has Underworld Breach in it, and also in terms of they're down to 18 cards. Yeah, I'm just going to play Tabernacle and pass. There's 3 Icarids in the graveyard now. I actually do need to figure this out. I near death. They are activating Bazaar. If they get too nasty here, the Brain Freeze will get them. They're out of burn. 7 cards left in their deck with a draw step to come. And I'm missing red mana and I'm missing double blue mana. Like, these are actual problems here. And while I would be dead if they did not waste my Academy, if they had saved it for Tabernacle, I would be dead this turn. Not having Academy is rough right now. If they dredge anything, they're dead, though. They probably just stop dredging, though. They have enough pressure to win. And now what they need to do is not get cheesed out somehow. Dredge literally anything. The lowest dredge in the deck puts them to 3 cards. Okay, they did draw. That is correct. block, the end step, waterlogged teachings. Oh, well, let's let all these things happen first. I guess I'll resolve my thing so I can F6. Cast waterlogged teachings. And now my options are, I can get the brain freeze and hope to draw a red source. I could get dig through time. I can't cast dig through time. Just one blue, stuck on one blue. That one wasteland devastating. It's ancestral recall and try to make something happen, or brain freeze and any Mox wins, red source wins. Yeah, I think I just get brain freeze here. Any blue source, any Mox, pithing needle, any artifact wins. All right, I'm taking brain freeze. The line's going to be tight though. And I'm not going to pay for my construct because it doesn't matter anymore. They have 3 Icarids. Every mana might matter. Come on. Oh no! What a heartbreaker. And they can win without casting a spell. Gross. All right, yeah. I lost to that wasteland. And just bad mana. On to the next round. That was... I felt like we were miles ahead for that whole game, and then extremely unlucky in the back half. But, I mean, that's Dredge. They just beat all of that. On to the next round. For this video, I partnered with CardTrader.com, the international card game marketplace that features the innovative CardTrader Zero shipping system. CardTrader functions as your personal P.O. box, gathering your order from different sellers around the world and sending it to you in a single shipment. With international shipping simplified for buyers, the market for sellers expands too. Buy and sell Magic, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, Yu-Gi-Oh!, as well as niche games. Find what you're looking for from all corners of the world. I made an order from a diverse group of sellers to try it out. Check out this order from America, Italy, and Switzerland. The update page makes it clear where everything is throughout the consolidation process, and once your order's in hand, they ship it out in a single package, and you're done. I used CardTrader Zero. I ordered from 4 different sellers in 3 different countries. I paid 1 shipping cost. I had 1 package show up to my house. That package had 1 CardTrader envelope in it, and that envelope had my order. All the cards I ordered from around the world in 1 little package with the CardTrader Zero security seal, ready to ride safe and sound to me. If you want to buy or sell trading cards around the world, try CardTrader.com and their innovative CardTrader Zero shipping system. I'm on the draw for round 2. I am going to keep my hand. It is very slow and interactive, the complete opposite of what both of my hands did last game. Opponent's on 6. No Luris revealed. Probe. Okay. They know the coast is clear. Delta. And pass. Okay. We got away with it. Aha! Now there are no secrets at all. What a stupid card. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I just drew my basic island, which means I have to play into a wasteland. But resolving Soul Ring is pretty cracked. Interesting. I don't know what's going on over there. It looks like some sort of... Is this just bug? Is this what bug looks like? Okay, whatever. I'm going to cast Soul Ring. It's a bug hand that didn't quite materialize. I have black in my hand that I can deploy anytime, but that's true of everything. I'm going to get Volcanic Island and cast Soul Ring. If they don't wasteland me, I'm going to tinker the shit out of them. If they do wasteland me, I'll tinker the shit out of them next turn. There's the waste. If they drew Collector Oof, that's going to be annoying. Cool. Yeah, sick. Nice draw. I hate bug. Okay, I can just Ancestral Recall this turn before all these Bowmasters get online. Tinker's a lot harder to set up now. Alright, yeah. Ancestral Recall sounds good. Do I have a Fatal Push in the main? I have a Dismember in the main. Okay. That might be good enough. They can't play Bowmaster and Wasteland me unless they draw a land. I can't Breach win with an Oof in play. Pyroblast is not going to be good interaction. How do I want to do this? I think I just want Ancestral now. Give me 3 looks at the goods. Cool. Hull Breacher, Force of Will. Bowmaster. I'm going to force this, just deciding what I'm going to pitch. Teachings can get the Dismember and unlock my stuff. Hull Breacher. This deck does draw some cards, but not really. Hull Breacher does trade with Collector Oof. I could pitch its Teachings or Ponder, I think. I think I do like the Hull Breacher. But I don't really want to send a Time Twister into their Bowmaster in their hand either. I will pitch the Hull Breacher. They're holding Fatal Push. Okay, their draw was a Lotus Petal that they can't use because of their own creature. Perfect. All right, Tinker's a sick find if I can get it going here. Another force, you love to see it. Ponder with my fetch still available. They don't know that this Assassin's Trophy is just Vindicate. I don't have another basic in my deck. Well, there's Breach and Lotus. Now I wish I had gotten the Dismember, but it's okay. What do I do with this? This looks powerful. I can put the Lotus on bottom, take the Breach, force the Bowmaster, at least cast Ancestral once or twice. Okay, I am not going to shuffle, and I am going to play Basic Island. Here's the Oof going in. Bowmaster, we force that, because the plan I just lined up is to cast a bunch of Ancestral Recalls. Okay, I'm going to value Breach here. Fetch. Now I actually do have to pick a color, because Wasteland can take me off of one. They can't have Force of Will over there. Well, they can, but they can't use it. There are more black cards than red in the deck. That's not even true. It's pretty even. The Breach is a big one. And Waterlogged Teachings is a blue-black dual land, so I will get red here. And then Breach, Ancestral, target me. If I hit the Dismember along this chain, I might actually just win. But I did just shuffle the Lotus away. Twister and Force. Okay. Twister gives me a game plan. Ancestral myself again. Okay. I'm going to discard a land at hand size here, and then I can Saga, Time Walk, Teachings for Hull Breacher, spin it. Okay, let's go. Their Wasteland, if they don't use it for mana this turn, is actually really good. And I don't want to pitch any of the cards in my hand to force anymore. Well, I'm going to have to. My plan was to Twister. Is that still my plan? If I Teachings for Brain Freeze, the Breach is in the graveyard, that doesn't matter. Twister is pretty bad if I don't have a Hull Breacher with it. I guess I just don't want them to have this card regardless. I might still twist here. I don't know. A second Wasteland, that's horrific. But they didn't leave it up for my one of Saga. I don't think they should, but they also just didn't. Just win-win. Ponder. I could just find a Hull Breacher the old-fashioned way. Misstep, Force, Emerald. I'm going to shuffle that. Motobug. Got the Misstep anyway. Time Walk. Start trying to get something happening here. I get at least one construct, so I can defeat the Shithead Collector Roof. And I did rip a Hull Breacher the old-fashioned way. That's not immediately useful, but it does give me a plan to actually exit the game, which I didn't have until now. All right, I'm just going to pass. I can misstep the Fatal Push. They have to Wasteland Saga or they're in trouble. Yep. Make a 2/2, which stuffs their offense. They do know I'm holding Pyroblast. All right, misstep that. Probably should have paid mana for that. Whoops. That's 2 life I didn't need to lose. Okay, there is an Undercity Sewer in the deck. I'm going to utilize it now. Scalding Tarn. There are still lands to fetch. I don't think I need them. Because if they use Trophy to push damage next turn, that sets up my win. Oh, okay. This makes Construct bigger. I like this subgame we're playing, where if they think this Oof is going to get me dead in 2 hits, they should Trophy here. Beseiju. That's actually fine, because now I actually do get a land, which I would not have gotten otherwise. And now they're just going to get twisted, but I am going to be at 2 on the back end of the twist. This is turning out to be a very interesting and fun game. Okay, play out the Mox Jet, might as well. And then I'm going to leave up a black and a red, and I'm going to twist. This clears the trophy, gives me a grip full of cards, but I'm still under Collector Roof. And now Dismember is really hard to cast. Zoom, zoom. Oh, wow, they just scooped to that? Don't want to try to attack for 2? I mean, you're probably dead, but also, that was pretty sweet. I say this every Vintage season. I think Bug sucks. I just don't think that's a good Vintage deck, and I would never play it. And I'm not trying to be mean to my opponent right now, or anyone who does play Bug, but every time I play against this deck, they even do shit like top deck Collector Roof in a spot where they need to, and then top deck 2 Bowmasters in a row, and like they run extremely hot and they still just lose because it's a legacy deck. Hey, if Force of Negation can come out, Pyroblast does kill Oko, but doesn't do a lot of other stuff. Like Oko counterspells and Ancestral Recall are their blue cards. That's a maybe. I think I like the Portal to Phyrexia. Might be slow and wonky, but they're a creature deck. Let's punish that. I could bring in Pithing Needle for Wasteland or Oko. I definitely want the creature removal, because if they don't have a Collector Roof, their deck doesn't do anything. I could shave Mana Crypt versus the dedicated Collector Roof deck. That does lower my power level, but it cuts a potential win con for them. I think I am going to cut both Pyroblasts and play to the board. Do I want the Portal? Do I want the Needle? And Citadel is my big shove. They do have Boseiju, Assassin's Trophy, all those things that can mess up a Citadel shove. I don't think I'm going to bring in the Needle. That's too reactive. I'm a powerful deck. Let's just make them dead. If they don't have Collector Roof, I don't care about Wasteland, because my ample artifact mana will be online. Okay, well, if they turn one oof me, I'm dead, but I'm not going to mulligan this. Mox Jet. Mox Emerald. The Doctor. Are there more spells coming? Nope. Okay. Okay, Mox Jet Fatal Push is where I'm going to start this. See if this is a fight they want to fight. Like if they Flusterstorm this, that's just insane. Let's go! And they could still have Force Blue card backup, in which case I'm not in great shape. But that was a little sequencing lesson for the kids at home. Tinker with a land drop still available. All right, on to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3. I have a turn 1 Demonic Tutor or turn 1 Hold Up Pyroblast. Demonic Tutor turn 1 probably gets Tinker. Yeah, I'll keep this. I'll probably just TT for Tinker here and try to send it. Ancestral is the safe call, Tinker's the excited one. Opponent just shouted out Card Trader. They said they ordered 300 individual cards and only had to pay 1 shipping. And Card Trader 0 is pretty busted. Love to hear that someone's actually out there doing it. Use code BoshNRoll for 5% off your order. Follow. Love a natural plug too. That's just good stuff. Okay, opponent's on 5. Could be Bizarre, could be Initiative, could just be unlucky. I'm going to DT for the Tinker as promised. If this is Initiative, is there something smarter to get than Tinker? No, we ball. Let's go. If this is Initiative and they do something like play Archon of Emeria, my whole plan collapses. Alright, it's Dredge. We're just going to try to speed run. Turns out I didn't have a Leyline of the Void to wish for, or a tutor for in game 1. Hollow 1, 3 cards left. If this is a Dredge Keep that involves Force of Will, we might be deceased already. And tinkering into this much damage is a bit of a concern, but it's the plan I have. I guess I could play Hull Breacher this turn and then protect the Tinker from Force next turn, but I will have taken a bunch of damage by then. I think that's okay. All right, I am going to Hull Breacher here. I know that they have a Dredger, but if the first Dredge misses, they have a Dredge 4 to hit. If they miss, I'm actually breaching. All right, didn't miss, but give myself the shot to do that. I think it's reasonable. Icarid's in, triggers Amalgam. Okay, medium Dredges here. Do I want to protect my life total for big Sendies next turn? I think I do. I am just going to chump block and hope that Bolas of Citadel gets it done from 16. Definitely concerned, though. This is not what I wanted to be doing with my life. But I don't think grabbing Ancestral would have been better. Can I draw a Mox? That would be great. Yes! All right, sick. Okay, now I can tinker with Pyroblast backup with my land drop still up. This is what I was looking for in my life. All right, 1, 2, 3. Tinker away the Ruby. Which one do I want in the graveyard? I don't think this game is going to last very many more turns. So, like, if I hit Breach, what color would I rather have access to? It's probably black. I'm going to tinker the Mox away. Or the Jet. They're both Moxen. It's Citadel, don't fail me now. Underworld Breach immediately? Let's go. Merchant Scroll. Oh, if they have Force of Vigor, I'm actually fucked. Yeah, Force of Vigor would mess me up here pretty bad. Okay. Breach is in play. I can use it to cast a spell in my graveyard before it's gone. I could scroll for the Brain Freeze right now. Okay, I'm going to Merchant Scroll. Oh, Teaching's on top. Do I want to respond with this? I think so. Another one. Do I want to go to 4? Does this win? Okay, hold on. This gets... What is even happening here? I just get something like Ancestral Recall. I'm actually just going to pass here in case there is a response. Then I could Teachings for interaction. All right, they're reviving my Jet. That's on top of my deck now. That's okay. Teachings. What do I want first? And I don't have a blue card to go with Force, so that barely matters. Do I just bank the Brain Freeze? I think so. Let's just put that there. Pass priority on Merchant Scroll. Yeah, there's not a Flusterstorm in the deck, which is what I would like to do to solve my problems here. I think if Force of Vigor was what's going on, it would have happened by now. I'm going to grab Force of Will. Another Teachings. Okay. Well, what does that do? Storm is 6. I could just Brain Freeze myself and see what happens. Academy from hand, cast that right away. And then I just need to hit like any Mox and we're fine. Okay. Brain Freeze myself. I guess we're not fine because I can't really Brain Freeze my opponent out here. Not directly. So I have to set up a Hull Breacher Twister out of my graveyard to make sure I don't get Creeping Chilled out of the game. Because I am at 8 and they could 12 me if I just go for their face. There's a Hull Breacher on top right now. I'm going to have to cast one of these eventually. I'll just do it now. I'm at 5. There's the Lotus. Okay, I think we're good at this point. There's a Force on top that I can't cast because I'm at 5. I'm going to start with Lotus out of the graveyard. Is the Twister in here? The Twister is one of the 22 cards remaining in my deck. That's fine. Blue, blue, blue. Black Lotus again. Right now I'm exiling cards I don't want to redraw off of Twister. I don't need to tinker again. And now I can hardcast Force of Will. I don't think they have interaction. They should have done it by now, but just in case. Now I'm going to Lotus one more time, then I'll Brain Freeze. Get these lands out of here. Dismember, not a card I need. And now Brain Freeze is good for everything. Exile, Dak, Misstep. Backup Breach, do I need that? Backup Hull Breacher, do I need that? I think I want my Teachings and Merchant Scroll still in the deck. Top is solid. Yeah, I don't think I need another Hull Breacher. I Brain Freeze myself the rest of the way, Twister, and then figure out how to win after that when... Yeah, this is weird. The Creeping Chill's really jacking me up here. But at least I know about Creeping Chill. If I was not studied up on the format and didn't know it was in there, I would have just lost this game. Yeah, I guess I Time Walk, Time Twister. Yeah, literal last card in my deck is the Twister. Maybe I did want that other Hull Breacher I pitched, if damage is how I'm going to win. I don't know if damage is how I'm going to win. I don't know how I'm going to win. Still solving it. Okay. Sack Black Lotus. I don't want lands in the deck. Don't really need to tutor anymore. Pyroblast doesn't matter. Let's get another Hull Breacher in. That's 2 of those. And then opponent has 2 tapped creatures at 18 life. Deciding if there's any other cards I want to cast before I do the twist here. 1 piece of main deck graveyard hate would make this completely trivial. Maybe it's trivial already and I'm just missing it, but I'm gaming. I have to Time Walk before I Time Twister. There's Time Walk. Do I want to do anything else before I twist? I could just Ancestral a few times. Nope, I would die. I should not do that. I should Time Walk several times. That's what I'm doing. Okay, yeah. I found the line. Figured it out. Okay. Sack Lotus. Lotus. I don't need all this mana in the deck. Okay, so it's Black Lotus, Time Walk. I'm not going to Brain Freeze anymore. Maybe I don't even need to twist. Maybe I just time walk my way out of this. So this is 2 turns. How many do I need? 3. Okay. Time walk. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 3 turns in the bank. Blue, blue, blue. Black Lotus is back. And Twister. Yeah. Opponent just said mill me, I dare you. I'm trying really hard not to do that. I have 3 turns in the bank. That is 18 damage, and we could do the twist here. The Time Twister, each player shuffles their hand in graveyard so that you shuffle away first. Time Twister does function as graveyard hate. All right, I'm just going to do the twist here. Can I put another Time Walk on the stack? I can, yeah, all right. All right, another Time Walk. And if my opponent has sandbagged a counterspell this long, they're a god. Can I play around that? Do I need to play around that? There are 15 cards in the Twister pool right now. If I Black Lotus again, there will be 12 cards. If I twist after that, it'll be 9. That's not quite enough because I have to survive the remaining turns. I mean, I might have messed this up, but I think they would have countered way earlier than now. All right, I'm going to twist. I don't need a Breach, and I don't need a Merchant Scroll. Okay. My spell resolved. Good news, everybody. All right, Jesus. Okay, yeah, just realizing that Time Walk was my out is something that we just spent time doing together. Good job, me. Figured it out. It's cool having a deck with creatures in it. Okay, here is this 6-card plan again. Maybe Dak Faden sucks here. I wasn't quite sure what my 6 cut was last time, but Dak seems insanely mid against Dredge. Okay, let's go. Wow, this is a powerful vintage hand. It does not have any grave hate in it. This is probably the most insane hand I'd ever mulligan. Context matters a lot, of course. Opponent's on 6 already. I have to imagine I'm playing against a Force of Will or something. All right, Pinning Needle I could keep. Just literally anything to play the game. And the one of Dak showed up. Maybe he's here to say, you shouldn't have cut me. Opponent's on 6. Dak is my plan here. Maybe I don't need Time Walk. It seems crazy because the card's so strong, but like I can make that a later problem if I have Force Blue card, early Pithing Needle. Dak's probably worse than Time Walk though. All right, I'm bottoming Dak. I'm back on Dak probably sucks in this matchup. Mulligans are scuffed. You only get 6 cards. I wish I could just keep them all. A Bazaar, to the surprise of no one. Icarid, 2 small dredgers in the graveyard. Okay, drew a land. That would have cast Dak. Good job. Volcanic Island. Mox Emerald. Playing out the Mox makes Force of Vigor better, but I do have Force of Will for Force of Vigor. Bazaar Krovod. Is that what I want? Bazaar Krovod? Bazaar of Baghdad. Bomat Bazaar Barge? Now they're just making up cards. All right, Bazaar of Baghdad is named. And I'll pass the turn. They did go first, which means that there are dredgers in the graveyard already, and slow dredging is fine even if they don't have interaction. But they do. All right, force pitching my teachings. And now I have to beat a slow dredge. Oh, they're still... They have more! Okay. Noxus Revival, rebuy the force. That means they're not going to dredge this turn, or else that was nothing. But that probably means the other card in hand is green. Interesting. Okay. Wasteland. All right. All right, that's 2 for 2 on dredge opponents who have just cacked off on a mana source with a Wasteland. That's not what that card's for. Respectfully. And that also means that they're going to have to take draws. Oh no, they can dredge Shambling Shell, which is a green card. Nope, I figured it out. Solved it. I believe I'm going to Time Walk here. Do I want access to this Breach, or do I want access to all the good black cards in my deck? My black cards are really just Demonic and Vamp Tutor, so I'll give myself access to Breach. Time Walk. Flip it. Mox Pearl. This doesn't do anything. Not yet. Okay. I'm gonna pass and let them dredge Shambling Shell, which will unlock their Bazaar starting during my turn. All right, they hit a second Icarid. Are they going to zap it now or wait until my end step? Should probably do it now. That denies me the mana in my main phase. Okay. What can we do? Leyline of the Void, hell yeah. Just what I was looking for. Alright, we're probably dead. I don't think Dak or Time Walks would have helped me there. There is only one Dredger in this graveyard somehow, but they do get 3 flips. They hit Thug. Thug hit 2 Imps. Sorry, yeah. There was one brief moment where I could believe in miracles, but that moment passed. I need to Ancestral into Lotus Brain Freeze, but there's 2 Icarids here. That is 6 damage, which means that I'm at the magic number of 12, which means I can't even mill them out. But we did kind of find the sauce last game, eventually, of how to win that. Black Lotus is just good anyway, because it casts Leyline of the Void. Black Lotus is always good. Can I draw that one? Force of Will. Alright, this game's over. GG. Yeah, the double Force of Negation, I was ready for one. The second one got me. Or Force of Vigor. Okay, maybe Pyroblast is bad. Is something else better? I could bring Dak back in. I could have Portal. Portal doesn't look good here. Force of Negation on the hard cast is another way to protect my ley lines. But you can never pitch cast Force of Negation on a pitch cast Force of Vigor. That's just not how the rules work. And they can't cast Force of Vigor, so I would be bringing in Force of Negation just as 3 mana negate. We did see Force of Will, Force of Negation, and Mindbreak Trap out of the opponent, though. I think I just have to remain hopeful about this one of Pyroblast. Okay. I would like to play first. This hand has Ancestral Recall, but it also has Bolas' Citadel, and has no real plan to win the game. I guess that's not true. I can get my way towards a Twister. I'm going to mulligan. I have Leylines in my deck. Here we go. Leyline and the means to protect it. And this one Dak, he's just determined to let us know that he's fine. And I'm determined to let him know he will be on the bottom of my deck in a moment. Okay, keep. I'm going to bottom Dak. Opponent has powdered twice and mulliganed to 6 so far. Okay, they stopped on 6 after powdering twice. I think I'm just going to pass and not cast this Ponder right away. Because I have double Force, double blue card right now. And I have the best thing. Like, they need a hollow one to do anything here. I can even force a hollow one if I'm super worried about it. Discarded 2 Icarids and a Creeping Chill. Alright, and here I can fetch the Sewer. ETB tapped in Vintage. Plenty of time. I am actually going to keep this. Force of Will is not usually good against Dredge, but it is good in the position where you have a leyline down and just need it to stay down. Cool. Ponder, Vamp, Land Drop. Play this, there's a Vamp on top. And a Ponder under that. Wasteland. Okay, draw Vampiric Tutor. I'm going to pass the turn. I don't mind getting Wastelanded. It really is fine. It will slow me down, but that's okay. End step Bazaar activation, looking for the goods. That is a bunch of Creeping Chills in exile already, which means my Brain Freeze kill is on, even if they clear the ley line. Yeah, I'm going to fetch before I do anything else. I guess I could have drawn that Ponder. That was fine. Yeah, that was bad. I'm going to Ancestral for, or Vamp for Ancestral. I kind of wish I had just left that Ponder on top, but we're here now. Wasting me. That's fine. Draw. I can at least play around Force of Negation if I pass the turn first. This slows down. I miss a land drop, but it's okay. Oh, they didn't even Bazaar. All right, I'm going to Ancestral in their upkeep. All right, Bazaar in response. There are 2 hollow ones in exile already, which means they're playing to a 2-outer. I am going to fight over this. I think it's worth it. And I'm going to keep Hull Breacher, because if I can snag these slow dredges, it's over. Or these slow Bazaars. They're not dredging. Well, I missed on the land. Black Lotus, Mana Crypt. These are good cards. All right, Brainstorm. Save me. We did it. Okay. Put back Breach and, or Leyline of the Void and Breach. And then land Soul Ring. Tinker's live. Hull Breacher's live. Next turn's going to be fun. Here's a Bazaar. They'll end up with 3 cards in hand at the end of this, which means that they cannot force green card and Force of Will. Okay. Do I think I can beat this? Yeah, I can just send Bolas to Citadel from 15 next turn with Force backup. I'm drawing the Breach even, so I'm gonna Yeah. I'm going to put Bolus's Citadel into play. My land drop's still alive. Okay, Force blue card was their last cards. They're also my cards. Can we make this work? Leyline of the Void. I'm at 10. Academy. Dak? Alright, well, Dak. You've been trying so hard, buddy. Take through time. Literally can't cast that. I can target myself with Dak Faden, though. Okay. My top card is Mox Ruby, which casts Hull Breacher. Get rid of Scalding Tarn and Dig Through Time. Does Demonic Tutor win me the game? What's in my graveyard? Demonic Tutor would end up in the graveyard. If I DT for a Lotus, then that's Breach. Yeah, okay. I think this wins. Yeah, DT for a Lotus. Lotus casts Breach and Flashback DT. That gets Brain Freeze and we're off. Okay. Bolus's Citadel. Hell of a card. Oh, there it is. We don't even need to do any of that other shit. I target myself with Brain Freeze. I don't think there's anything that can go wrong here. Famous last words. Opponent is hellbent and under a leyline, though. Mystical Tutor. Don't want to use that yet. Okay, there's all that. And then 1, 2, 3. Underworld Breach. This time I will Brain Freeze you, opponent. Okay, sweet. We did it. We beat Dredge. Split 'em versus Dredge. This one, the leyline held. Game 2, really impressive, where they just ground through leyline with protection. But yeah, just sending Tinker, Bolus's Citadel, make it happen. Fearless. Fuck a hollow one. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round 4 versus a Luris deck. Finally a real test. We've got a hand that I'm not going to keep. This Bolus's Citadel too wonky. Mulligan. This hand can Time Twister on turn 1 or do it protected on turn 2. I will keep this. We're playing against a Wasteland strategy. I like all the mana we have access to. The Saga is really interesting. If they don't have Wasteland, this is a whole game plan by itself. But that takes away my turn 2 Twister with backup. Am I even going to try to twist this Bowmaster deck? Is that actually my plan? I could bottom the Emerald. That makes my Saga worse, but it does make my colors better. Yeah, I'm going to bottom Emerald. I could have turn 1 Time Twistered and just bet, but this is a deck that plays like 7 Force of Wills. That's not a bet I want to make. But I will bet on this pre-Saga restriction open Mox Jet. Thoughtseize. My cards. Thoughtseize Wasteland would be a great start here. It's weird they were in the tank that long. Interesting. All right, so they want to get twisted. That's my read there. Well, if you want it, you got it. Let's go. I'm twisting. Okay, this is a Hull Breacher with Force and Mental Misstep protection. I will pass that into this deck full of card draw spells. Please cast Ancestral Recall. I guess if my plan was to Twister, keeping the Emeralds better, but going for the stability of the colored mana versus the known Wasteland, but if I'm leading on Saga, they're just going to waste that. Yeah, there's some stuff to balance there. Okay, they've produced a bunch of mana. Expressive Iteration. Ban. Okay, my opponent is not on any sort of stock Luris build here. This is a Grixis something or other. They exiled Force of Will, that's annoying. That makes my end-step Hull Breacher plan a lot worse. I'll just wait for that to burn off. Take some damages. We were actually really close there to end-step Hull Breacher, untap Breach Twister. And exiling the Force of Will is what made me back off of it. If I cast Ponder, things do get worse here. I just need to find any blue card, though. I am going to Ponder. Did not find a blue card. Did find a Pyroblast. That's kind of like a blue card. All right. Now I can Force of Negation or I could Pyroblast and Force of Negation, or Mental Misstep and Pyroblast. I guess if we're like really about to die, I could do all three. I'm going to misstep that shit. I got big plans here. And it doesn't involve being Thoughtseized. If we can win a counter war that results in Hullbreacher in play, I can turn around and breach. All right, I'm going to Pyroblast. What am I more interested in? Hullbreacher in play or Thoughtseize getting countered? Because I could respond with Hullbreacher here and then decide if I'm going to fight over that. Yeah, I'm going to cast Hullbreacher now. I would rather have Hullbreacher resolve if there is another Force Blue card over in that hand. That resolved. Now I'll go for the Pyroblast on the Force, and I'm going to twist them if this Thoughtseize gets countered. Okay, they did have it. Okay. Heads up read by both me and the opponent. I saw that coming, and then they let it happen. But unfortunately for them, fortunately for them, they do get to clip this breach. Unfortunately for them, my Hullbreacher was the card I cared more about. Lost the flip. My top card is Sensei's Top. It does give them perfect information to play out the sea, but I don't want to lose access to Force if they wasteland me. And Top is a super mana-hungry card. There is one more breach in my deck. Yeah, grabbing Luris. That's fair. My Crypt is causing problems here. I won 2 flips, lost 1. That's reasonable. Sensei's Top. Look at my top 3 cards. Hope there's something fucked there. The Brain Freeze is not good. The Bolas of Citadel is not close to castable. I'm just taking the Scalding Tarn, and I will use that as a shuffle next turn. Opponent does not have any cards that Luris can replay at this point. I'm hoping their hand is just Luris and 3 draw spells. Yeah, Luris resolves. Couldn't stop it. Even if I tried. Won the flip. I am 75% on these flips. I'm doing okay. I am going to look at the third card down because it's vintage. Every single card could be insane. Like that one right now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. I'll play out Scalding Tarn. Draw Dak. Brain Freeze targeting me. Okay, that's clever. That will mill over my Dak, my Brain Freeze, and this will just give me a random draw. That's fine. Okay, so those 3 things get milled away. And then I'll activate Top again in response to Top. Hey, I just win. I guess I don't quite win. I don't have the Lotus. Underworld Breach. Really good card, though. If I breach... So this is Breach, Twister, Pyroblast backup. Okay, yeah. I mostly do just win here. Okay. I'll take that. Fetch. Just verifying this is a 6-mana line that I'm trying to take. And it is. All right, cool. That Twister. The whole game hinged around that. That was fun. Okay, Grixis. So this is Luris Breach we're playing against. This is what I was talking about. I was confused at first, but this is more likely a combo deck than a traditional Dimir deck. They can't have Hullbreachers of their own. They could have Bowmasters. Pyroblast likely to be very good. I can imagine Force Negation, Mindbreak Trap being good. I'm not going to bring in Leyline of the Void. I want a side grade Dismember. I don't want that to be the one removal spell on my deck. I actually like Lightning Bolt quite a lot, because Lightning Bolt can also kill with Breach without milling them. If that is a concern, you just bolt them a bunch of times. And it also kills Luris just fine and Bowmaster. Deck is pretty heavily pre-boarded for this, though. What am I even cutting other than, like, I could go 0 removal and get an extra Pyroblast or Force in. I don't think I'm Mindbreak Trapping. Pyroblasting something like Expressive Iteration actually sounds really good. I am interested in that. I'm probably not going to be able to make room for these other forces, though. How cuttable is Waterlogged Teachings? It's a land. It's also a tutor. Those are both good things. It does cost 4, though. It is both the worst land and the worst tutor, but it is either one. And there's strength in that. I could shave a Ponder. I do have 4 of those, and yeah, okay. I'll shave a Ponder. I will keep this hand. The One of Saga, making another appearance. Battle. Balk. Thoughtseize. Well, they can't Thoughtseize my Urza Saga. They can take my Force, and if they win, they win. But I'm not giving them 2 cards when I could give them 1. The Force is gone. Am I dead? Ponder. They shuffled the Ponder. Let's go. Ka-chow! Okay. Saga. Ruby. I'll show you the Lotus. Jet. The Lotus actually matters here because now I can log for Force and interact if I need to. They're over there shuffling Ponders and behind to an Urza Saga. Okay, the Strip Mine, they had it again. They're not behind to an Urza Saga after all. But I do have 2 tutors in my hand and the mana to cast them. Not in a hurry to do that, though. I'll save the Delta. Maybe I'm just supposed to get the Undercity Sewer there. I'd believe it. Iteration is annoying, but I'm not going to spend my Lotus to tutor for an answer to it. They made their land drop before iterating. That's less risky in Vintage where you have all the Moxen, but in Modern and Legacy, you really want to do that before you iterate. I'll Spell Bomb. That makes Breach a lot worse. But I got other stuff going on in my deck. I'm in on Hull Breacher now. Sick. Nice draw, me. Yeah, I'll probably Teaching for a Hull Breacher in the end step. Dreadhorde Arcanist, let's go. That's a nice one. And they left up Pyroblast mana, and they do know the cards in my hand. Here we go. Am I allowed to teach? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Ponder. I'll start with that. Dak Faden. He's determined. All right, Dak, I appreciate your consistent showing up, doing the work. Unfortunately, there's a Pyroblast in their graveyard and a Dreadhorde Arcanist in play. I could take their Nile Spellbomb, and then it goes away. Okay, I am not going to shuffle this Ponder. Dak Faden. Okay, so I could plus myself and then immediately lose the Dak to Pyroblast. I could take the Nile Spellbomb. They'll just pop it, but at least it's gone. But then they get to Thoughtseize me. I'm in bad shape regardless here. I could play Breach, let them pop the Spellbomb, take the Ruby, then I lose Lotus for basically no reason. I could just take the Ruby and continue to play through the Spellbomb. Yeah, taking anything, though, is so bad. Yeah, I wish I had removal spells in. A more dialed-in player might have known that Dreadhorde Arcanist was part of this game. Their graveyard's so good. Alright, I'm taking the Nile Spellbomb. They're just going to bust it in response. It's fine. And I guess I pass from here. I lose Dak. I lose Waterlogged Teaching to Thoughtseize. I draw a land next turn, and then we're in garbage time. Yeah, just a sideboard issue. Having more answers to Arcanist would make this game pretty easy. I don't have anything like Nile Spellbomb or Soul Guide Lantern to really stop a value engine like this. I do have to actually kill this thing. And I could have played Teachings as a land and just force them to take the Underworld Breach. But Breach leaves me with upside, where if they're scared enough, they might just take the Breach now. Because the Lotus is in play already. Okay, Dak is deceased. He kept showing up, he kept putting in the work, he kept being bad. Psychic Frog too. I probably should have deduced the presence of all these cards. Okay. I'm going to fetch. I could get Sewers here and try to get real fancy. All right, I'm going to get Sewers. If this spikes Brain Freeze, I might actually just win. Gitaxian Probe. I'll put that in the graveyard. Underworld Breach. I can probe them and draw a card. I'm 1 mana short of tutoring for Brain Freeze. Oh no! Was that just there? If I just got an untapped land, but I had to mill something over. Yeah, if I sacked the Lotus, I would have to... Alright, it wasn't there. I don't have to freak out. I could get, like, Pyroblast to kill Frog and try to value. I think I'm supposed to just get Ancestral Recall and try to continue playing the game. All right, blue, blue, blue. Teachings from the graveyard. Leave the Lotus there. Ancestral Recall. Ancestral Me. Okay, I found the Lightning Bolt, so I can kill both their creatures next turn. That was a pretty solid value breach, actually. I'll take it. Given all the horrible shit that could have happened this turn, that was pretty good. I started that turn with 1 card in my graveyard, 1 card in my hand, and ended with their whole board covered. and a plan to keep digging. The Arcanist is going to ponder here. They're up 2 cards from combat. Thoughtseize would be pretty frustrating. Man, that card's good. Do not shuffle ponder. Frog draws. 5 cards in hand. Time Walk would be horrific. EI? I wonder if they can boost Dreadhorde Arcanist's power and start casting these EIs from the graveyard. Is that something they have access to? Hit Ancestral Recall, though they're going to have all the cards in their hand. Volcanic Island doesn't cast Thoughtseize. Dak Faden. I'm a red source short of casting my whole hand right now. I'm going to start by bolting Arcanist. That's gone. Pyroblast Frog. That one's worth a Force of Will. I could let this resolve and then dig through time, leaving Lotus in the graveyard, or I could dig through time now, but I lose my Lotus and then Breach kills are off. I'm going to let Frog stay, and then I'm going to dig. This does turn Pyroblast back on, though. First blue spell of the turn. Too easy. Okay. Pretty good turn. They're having better turns, though. Thoughtseize, ouch. Alright, I'm good. We don't have to keep doing this. They Time Walk, they got Frog going. Alright, let's bring in these Fatal Pushes and Dismembers. That was a... They are a Lurrus Breach, because we saw Brain Freeze in their deck, but they are a creature-centric Lurrus Breach deck, which has its own set of problems we gotta solve. We've seen Nile Spellbomb. I'm not sure I can just get off Breach. I don't think that's a line this deck really supports. I could cut clunky stuff like Dig Through Time and Merchant Scroll. That's really bad versus Pyroblast. Now I have a bunch of removal in the deck. Dak's bad versus Pyroblast too, but Dak's part of the engine. I'm going to try this. Okay, this is a good start. I'm going to keep it. We've got Pyroblast Time Walk. I could just Time Walk to essentially explore. Is that a level of aggression I want to do? I think it is. Yeah, I'm just going to Time Walk here. Get an extra land into play. It sucks that this land comes into play tapped, or else I would have, like, functional turn 1 Tinker here. I'm not going to Mystical Tutor in this upkeep. Oh, well, I wouldn't have drawn both of these, so I'll play the Sewers now. Bolus to Citadel. Oh, you asshole. Why would you be there? If I mill this, it's gone. Mystical for Tinker was my whole plan here. I guess I will leave this on top and try to resolve Mystical in my next upkeep. Okay, this doesn't change anything. It just sucks. All right, pass. Yeah, I'll Mystical off of the Undercity Sewers on my next turn. Try to grab Tinker. I could get Ancestral. I can protect Ancestral with my hand. I can't protect Tinker with my hand. I do have to shuffle away that Citadel, though. That was the worst card in the entire deck that I could have seen off that Sewer. Black Lotus. Black in the pool. Thoughtseize. I'm going to Mystical Tutor. I have to. My whole plan was predicated on doing this. Can I afford to get Tinker anymore now that they're going to see everything I've got? I think I'm going to get Ancestral. Because the fail rate of a Tinker is just really bad. If I 2 for 2 myself and lose my Mana Crypt against a Force of Will, that's a nightmare. They took the Force. Okay. Does that mean they're going to try to combo out here? Or what does that mean? Okay, they're letting me Ancestral is what that means. I lost my flip. Ancestral myself. All Breacher with protection. Okay. Vamp Tutor's here too. I'm going to fetch now, so there's no tricks. You get a bonus Volcanic Island. Red's my more important color here. And I will pass. Because if they commit to attack with Arcanist, and I can't beat Pyroblast with anything I got here. Force of Will is good, though. Like, they're going to attack. They're going to Thoughtseize. I'm going to Hull Breacher in response to the Thoughtseize. And they know I have Pyroblast in hand. Okay, Thoughtseize works. And we'll see if they have a Pyroblast or a Lightning Bolt before I block. Took my Breach. Block. Combat! Vintage Combat, let's go. Strip Mine could take me off black. I think I'm okay with that. The Mana Crypt is doing, on average, half as much damage as Hull Breacher is, and we're starting from the same life total. Teach me. Okay. Attack with the homie. And I am going to play Teachings as a land because I have Vamp Tutor in my hand right now. Ponder. How aggressive do I want to be? Not that aggressive. They did shuffle, and then they had archive. Oh, right. I have Hull Breacher in play. I think we both forgot about that. Well, I'm going to vamp for Time Twister here and probably win. Yeah, I definitely forgot about that. Just eats the ponder. All right, we take a spin, and now I'm just doing stuff. Tolarian Academy, that's worth Infi, Mox, Ancestral, Rain Freeze. Do I have Lethal Storm? Not quite. All right, cool. We did it. Hull Breacher, pretty good. 1 a combat, 8 a ponder, and then Twisty. I'm impressed how quickly the Twister stuff comes together. It's been a long time since I tried to make that part of a game plan in Vintage, but this deck feels coherent in doing it. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're having fun, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to play what I'm playing, you can order it all in one package from cardtrader.com. Use code BoshNRoll for 5% off your first order. I am on the play in the final round. Positive record locked, bread and butter 4 went on the line. This is a functional turn 1 Tinker, or I could actually turn 1 Tinker. I could also Time Walk and then try to protect my Tinker if I find any mana source to protect it with Pyroblast. I'm definitely keeping the hand. Am I worried about my Time Walk getting forced? No. I am going to Time Walk, and then I'll pass. It seems like my opponent's F6'd, which is weirdly honest for a Vintage League. Okay. I am going to play the land. This is what I played to. This is what I was trying to do. I can protect the Tinker now, though my opponent does appear to be F6, like it doesn't matter. A Ponder holding priority. Dak, Mox. I would like the Dak in play, so I'm going to put that at the bottom of the Ponder. Jet from hand, Emerald from deck, Dak from the deck, Lotus from the deck. I mean, we're going to win. It's just how. A Ponder. This is actually a shuffle. I don't want Mental Misstep. I am heavily in the market for something like... Okay, here we go. I'm actually going to target them. I just want to see 2 cards out of their deck before they concede. They should concede in response to this, I think. Hide the information. They're a non-Luris deck that... Okay, yes. Good concession. They're a non-Luris deck that was willing to F6. That could be Shops, could be Dredge with a non-interactive hand. Could just be a very honest blue player. I feel like a blue player would not F6, even if it was obvious. I'm going to bring in Steel Sabotage. I'm getting Jewel Shops vibes. Ponders are kind of slow. Mental Misstep's bad if they're Shops. The Pyroblast is interesting, because that's a big swing. If they're regular Shops, Pyroblast is bad. If they're Jewel Shops, Pyroblast is fine. I think it's not worth the risk. And do I want to cut a second one? Okay, I'm going to lean away from Pyroblast a little bit. I'll leave 1 in just in case. Okay, I'm going to try this. This weird hedge based on having the information that my opponent was willing to pass priority. Here we go. What are you actually doing over there? I have a force in my hand and the ability to look at more cards. Let's find out. They kept 7 both games. If they are Dredge, they're the luckiest Dredge player there is. Okay, some City of Traders, Patches of Houlihan. They're aggro Shops. Cool. I can hang with this. I hope. I'm going to ignore Patches and try to combo over the top of him. Sensei's top. Okay, this might be the Glaring Fleshraker deck. Mindbreak Trap. Right on time. Could have countered that top. I'm going to cast Ponder and hope I see Black Lotus. Force of Will and some lands. Do I want these? I'll take them. Yeah. And if I could use these 2 forces to keep the pressure off, use the lands to make sure I don't lose to a wasteland on the spot, I think those are fine uses of my resource. I'm not going to fight Grim Monolith. This Patches is getting pretty big. Chucked a land here. 6 mana available. 2 cards left. 1 ring. A Force of Negation that... They've cast 2 spells. Okay, sad. Force of Negation that, exiling... Probably Mindbreak Trap. Like, if they cast a follow-up spell this turn, the trap's nutty bonkers. But if they don't, it's useless. Alright, I'm going to pitch Mindbreak Trap. Alright, they're using their floating mana to activate top. That's good news. Alright, I got 3 draw steps through the automaton. Some fast mana here to get this Time Twister going would be big. Ooh, the double top. That means that they could flip their tops back and forth next turn and basically deal X additional damage where X is the mana they have access to. So I actually have one more draw step after this one this game. Ponder's going to see 2 new cards. Force and Hull Breacher. Oh, that's so close. Hull Breacher's too slow here. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle. Gitaxian Probe, awkward. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9. They're representing 9 damage here. The Probe is just a raw redraw. I am going to spend the life. Mox Jet, that is what I wanted. Scalding Tarn can get the Surveil land, and I gotta make something happen this turn. I do not have any creature removal in my deck. These Fatal Pushes, that's not an out. I do have to go off. Flip to top. Are we just top comboing? Mishra's Workshop, oh no. I actually have to force the top now. Oh no, do they have a real artifact? That's so much worse. Okay, Force Pitching, Teachings. This is 7, 8, 9. They can do 9 to me here. Here come the flips. I flip that one into this one. 9 puts me to 2. Fetch puts me to 1. I gotta win from 1 life. Time to be a vintage deck. And unfortunately, the Twister will reload them, which means that I don't think they're going to interact with me, but it does mean if I don't actually win, I'm in trouble. Flooded Strand's not the one. I'd like to just draw like Tinker or Black Lotus here. Tinker doesn't even help. Scratch that, I don't want Tinker. Hull Breacher, oh no. That's so close to what I want. I could play Hull Breacher, block, get another turn out of this. All right, I'm going to play Underground Sea and pass. I think the more resources I can twist with, the better. And if they flip their top and try to push damage, like they don't have to do that. In fact, it is almost foolish to do it. But if they want to be super greedy, they can't. They should just go to combat here. They're looking at their top 3. If they flip the top and give me a treasure, that's another resource I can twist with, and I'm just looking for the most opportunity to cast the 7 cards I draw off Twister. That's my whole life right now. It's flashing before my eyes. Okay, they're drawing with top. I'm playing Hull Breacher. They didn't flip the other top in response. That means the top card of their deck isn't something they actually want. They were just top tricking. Top tricking sounds dirty. That sounds like something you would order on the street. Okay. The plan to Twister with 2 more mana than I had a moment ago has materialized. Now, can I convert that into a win? Oh my goodness. Hold up. What's in here? I could cast Underworld Breach and then Twister. I could also... I'm missing the Lotus, unfortunately. To go Breach, Hull Breacher, Twister. Is having Underworld Breach sitting in play a worthwhile investment, or should I leave 2 mana up? Let's look at the list and try to figure it out. 2 mana hits are like Time Walk. If I hit DAC and extra mana, I could steal the patches. That's actually insane. Yeah, I think I should be just twisting here. Okay. I have treasure and red. All right, let's twist. They're getting a fresh grip, but so am I. Fetch lands don't work. Oh, Christ. Well, that's bad. That was about the worst 7 imaginable. Okay, GG. Can't cast any of those. Well, that was fun for a minute. Okay, so they're aggro shops. Now we know that, which means Pyroblast can come out. These Fatal Pushes can come in. We saw the One Ring flying around. Lightning Bolt's reasonable. Gitaxian Probe can leave. What else did I do, not knowing what they were doing? This is a lot of force negation, but the One Ring is a pain in the ass. Portal to Phyrexia is a Tinker bullet that would have stabilized that situation. Sensei's top really slow for the matchup. Mindbreak Trap is not something I need. Okay, that one's a freebie. All right, push, bolt. Do I want Dismember, or do I just want to respect creatures but not go completely crazy about them? I think this is reasonable. The Portal is so good, though. Is Portal better than Citadel, or do I want access to both? If they're on a One Ring plan, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna be a busted vintage deck on the play. I don't like the Citadel. I actually don't like anything about this. I like that it has Force Blue card. If Citadel was a land and I could turn one Hull Breacher, I would do it. I'm going to mulligan this, actually. I think I can do better. And I did, immediately. Do I? Okay, so what does this hand do? It casts Demonic Tutor with 3 mana still available. And then Breach is here. I'm going to keep this bottom Volcanic Island and DT for Ancestral. Mox, DT. Oh wait, I can Tinker. No, I'm going to Tinker. That's better. Tinker, Tarn, Crypt. They basically have to have Mindbreak Trap, and I hope that's not a card they have. Tinker. It resolved. Bolus' Citadel. Black Lotus, oh my god. The Breach is in my hand already. We're going to turn 1 them. There's Merchant Scroll, that gets Brain Freeze, and we're out. I guess if they have something like Ravenous Trap. Opponent said, what can men do against such reckless hate? And I said, all you can do is scoop. Brain Freeze myself. And off we go. GG's, opponent. Okay, a 4-1 record. Losing to Dredge, also beating Dredge. This deck felt really good. I was impressed by how often Time Twister came up. This has been maligned as fake power for years. People have talked about like Time Vault or Library of Alexandria really being the 9th piece of power and Time Twister's an EDH card. And that's usually true. But this Hull Breacher plan really, you can center whole games around Twister, even just that last game that we ended up losing, but the ability to sculpt a line around Twister where I can see 7 fresh cards with maximum resources, that was a fun game to navigate. Dak was pretty bad, but that might have been just the nature of the league. Obviously, Dak is a solid vintage card, and it goes off with the Hull Breacher. Underworld Breach, phenomenal. How much praise does pushed Yawgmoth's Will actually need from me? But we had value breaches where I just Ancestral twice past the turn. We had value breaches where I just Time Walk. Solving the can't mill you out problem by just having 4 turns on the stack with 6 power in play. That was a fun game to navigate as well. This deck's cool. I dare say I like it. That makes 3 viable decks in my Eternal Weekend Identity Crisis. Right now, Oath, Demir Luris, and this deck are all things I could see myself playing. They all check the boxes I want out of the format. I'd like to start ruling things out, not adding candidates to the list, but it's good to know this deck is sweet. Guy, thank you for the opportunity to play this. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, buy some cards from cardtrader.com. I'll see you next time.